Alright everyone, we're going to go ahead and make a website with a recipe. So we're going to use a table, we're going to use tables, we're going to use ordered lists and unordered lists, and background images. Those are the four things we're worried about. A table, ordered list, unordered list, and a background image are the necessary elements we're going to need to get a good grade on this test. We're going to use the HTML rubric, which if you go to the actual assignment, the HTML rubric is posted there. But basically, you have to worry about how accurate your code is and the quality of your content as well. So let's take a look at what we have to do. We have to give ourselves a title. We have to make a table. We have to have a table with 4 rows. We have to have a couple of the rows will be with TH tags, which are the table header tags, instead of TD tags. Remember, table header is going to center your text and make it bold. And TD tags, you can put anything you want in a TD tag. You can put nothing in a TD tag if you so desire. Those are table data tags. So the TD tags and TH tags, those are going to make your columns, your up and down stuff, right? And the TRs, the table rows, are going to make your horizontal stuff. And so we're going to have 4 rows, a total of 2 columns, but most of the rows are going to span, right, both columns. All right. We're going to go ahead and style it with some CSS. We're going to have a list inside of our cells, all right? So our TD tags, one of the lists, like our ingredients, should be an unordered list. And your directions on how to make the recipe should be an ordered list with OL tags, right? Because for to make something, you have to do something in a certain steps, right? And if you get those steps out of order, a lot of times it's going to mess you up. So we have to take that into account. Put my microphone a little bit closer. All right. So those are all things we have to worry about. And also, next to our recipe, we're going to go ahead or ingredients either way, it doesn't really matter. You're going to go ahead and put an image of some variety. Okay. Let's take a look here. I'm going to go into CodePen. This is the one I did earlier today, the tuna casserole. So I'm going to go back to CodePen, make a new one. Make a new pen. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call this Recipe Site 3. This is the 3rd one I've done today. I'm real good at making recipe sites. I think it takes practice, right? So let's start off with my HTML first. I'm going to do my H1. And I'm going to, I don't know what my recipe is going to be, but I'm going to give it recipe title first. That's probably what I should have done before I even did my H1, right? My recipe title. All right, so let's find a nice recipe. Let's do like a simple recipe for bachelors. All right, here we go. Bachelor skillet. What's bachelor skillet? That sounds good. I'm no longer a bachelor. So we got kielbasa, a can of beer, and garlic powder. All right. See the full recipe. So butter, some cheese. Okay. Not much of a recipe. It's kielbasa with some cheese and on it. Alright, something. Let's say we want to use this one. Obviously, if you want to make this recipe at home, it says you were under the age of 21, you would have to have your parents buy you the can of beer. You normally have to use it for cooking purposes, not for drinking purposes. Alright, so here are the ingredients. Here's a nice picture we can use if we need to. Let's copy the image address. Let's get that all set up. Alright, and it's in .jpg. That's fine then. So it should be a good recipe for a good image for our using. And we're going to steal it. Again, if we were making our own website, we wouldn't want to steal someone else's image, but we're going to go ahead and use this as our own. They're probably like, if you went to like Imager, I'm not sure if Imager is blocked at school or not. Nope. All right. So I think you can link to Imager stuff as far as this goes. Like So you could like copy a picture, upload it to Imager, and then link to the Imager picture. So that would be a good thing to do. Or because that way you're not stealing any bandwidth from someone else's website. Anyways. Or like I said, you could take a picture on your phone, upload it to Imager, and link to that as well. That's perfectly fine. All right. So here are our ingredients over here. Here's the directions. Here we've got a picture all set up. We're good to go. Now we just gotta write the code. So our recipe is called the Bachelor's Skillet. Excellent. Unexpected character. I don't know what they're talking about there. All right, now we're going to put in our table. Let's put our closing table tag. Oops. All right. We got our first row, which is going to be our row that has the, it's going to be TH tags, and it's going to have our title for our ingredients, right? Ingredients. Great. And then let me see. Let's give this a column span equals 2. Right? So we'll span 2 columns. Then we're going to put in, sorry, I went too far ahead. First we got to do a table row. Our closing row. All right, there we go. This is our first row. All right, now we're going to do our second row. Here we're going to have 2 sets of TD tags. And the first one, let's put in our ingredients, right? We're gonna change that into an ordered list, unordered list later. All right. This is gonna be a picture of the Bachelor's Skillet. All right, and then let's close our row. All right, our next row is going to be just 1 set of TH tags with a column span of 2. Oops, tabbing all over the wrong place. All right, and this is going to be our directions, right? Oop, I spelled directions wrong. Directions. There we go. /th /tr. All right, and our last row is also going to have a column span of 2. Oops. You don't put a column span inside the table row, inside the table data or the THs. Right. Equals 2. I keep pressing the wrong button. All right, and here we're going to have our directions. /td /tr. All right, can you hear Miss Mahee in the background? All right, so this is our wonderful table over here. We've got our H1, we've got our ingredients with ingredients over here, and the pictures of the Bachelor's Skillet on the other side over there. Then we have our directions. So let's start doing our actual content. Got everything set up. Let's get rid of this. Here, our ingredients, we're going to put in an unordered list. All right, and there are, I say I'll write a lot in my verbal crutch. Let's go to the actual recipe. Here are the ingredients. Let's go over to our pen over here. All right, there we go. I said all right again. LI, put each thing on a line item. What's that? This should be an unordered list, not an ordered list. All right, I said all right again. Can't stop myself. All right. I can't. I don't know what the problem is with me. Well, there's lots of problems with me, but we all have problems, so that's okay. Great. I did not say all right that time. That one doesn't count because I was talking about saying the word. Shredded cheddar cheese. I don't know. This recipe seems okay, but I think it needs some. Oh, I put this in the wrong spot. Yeah, see everything is bold. I meant to put this in the next row. So let's Control X. All right, and this should be ingredients. This could all be one line. We don't need it to be 2 lines. I mean, you can, or 3 lines, but you don't need to be. All right, this should go in the TD tags. All right, so here's where we're going to put our table that we just made. All right, there we go. Great. Now let's do the next one should have the picture. Hold on 1 second. I messed stuff up. Wait, hold on. Let's take a look at what we did here. All right, so we got our first row with ingredients. This is fine. All right, then our next row should have a list. That's fine. Pictures of the bachelor skill. All right, that's our next row. All right, that's fine. That's good. All right, so here is where we're gonna give this an ID. ID equals, we'll call it skillet. That's what we're doing. All right, and let's do hashtag skillet. Okay, we're gonna do background image, not image, URL. Let's copy this thing, go back over here, paste the URL here, just like that. Great. Now let's do background dash size is cover, and we'll say background dash repeat, no repeat, no dash repeat. And we'll say width is 50%. So 50% of our table will be the width. Now we have this. We don't really need to have this text in here. We can leave it for right now if you want, but this is just so we know where everything is located. Okay, let's go to our, let's go to the directions. Let's copy this stuff over here. And we're going to put this in our last row over here. So here versus directions. Let's get rid of that. All right. There we go. This is going to be an ordered list, so with numbers and everything. Let's paste all this stuff. Now we're going to put each of these different steps in its own line. So the first thing, li. Where do they? How do they do it? All right, that's fine. I don't want to combine steps when I don't need to. And I'll put one here. So each step should have it be on its own line item. Add the kielbasa and garlic. I do like kielbasa. Great. This one didn't get indented. This one over here, closing tag. Great, that one lined up nicely. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't for whatever reason. I don't know why. Let's see here. Okay, for some reason it didn't indent this one. Sometimes it indents, sometimes it doesn't. Drink the rest of the beer with your meal again. Since you are under the age of 21. Oops, you will not be doing this part. Of course, we're not actually making this recipe, so it doesn't really matter too much. Alright, so let's take a look what we have now. Now we've got our headline. We've got our first row over here. On the left-hand side, we have our ingredients. On the right-hand side, we have our picture. And the bottom over here, we have our directions. So 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, with 2 columns. And this one here takes up 2 columns. This one here takes up 2 columns, and this one here takes up 2 columns. So that's fine. All right. So let's make this one. Let's give this one a height of, I don't know, 500 pixels. Let's see what happens. All right. So here we are. Let's give table. we've got let's give it a border of, let's give a nice thick border. THICC. 3 pixels, solid black. It's the same thing for the TH and the TDs. Give all of them. I kind of like it there without the border collapse. It's kind of cool. I like it like that. Okay, I'm going to leave that. Now, THs, I'm going to give them a background color. What time is it? I got a class in a half hour. Not really class, it's it's academic support, that's a class. Alright, I'm going to find a good color. Hexadecimal color picker. What color do I want? What kind of a orangey color? More orangey than that. That's fine. So this would be EDB124. So let's copy that. Go back to my table over here. See, now my headlines, or my THs, have this kind of color to them. If you wanted to, we could give like the background, like the give the table a background color too, if you want. Let's do like beige. Try that. Now our table has a beige background. It's not bad. Alright, let's give our THs a little bit of padding. And it's good. Let's give the table, just the table. Let's give it a margin left of auto-rect, and a margin right auto. So now our table is centered. let's give our stuff a different font. For that, let's go to our H1 and center that as well, because it looks weird when it's not centered. That's text dash align center. Again, you might style yours differently than the way I'm styling it. So here we go. Body. Let's find a good font. Web friendly fonts. Fantasy. Fantasy fonts. Arial, Times New Roman, Helvetica, Times, Courier New, Verdana, Courier, Arial Narrow. Arial Narrow's okay. Candara, I didn't even know that one. I don't know a lot about fonts. Calibri's nice. Optima, Optima's pretty good. Maybe choose Optima. Or it could do just like the Perpetua is good. Not Monaco. I mean, Monaco is good if you're doing like some kind of like 8-bit sort of Dido. Brushed, definitely not brushed. Copper plate, nope. Comic Sans, all right. All right, let's go with Dido. We'll try Dido. Font dash family Dido. See if that changes anything. You might have to install Dido, I don't know. Oh, that's coming late. Or maybe it's not in code then. Try Optima? Let's try Optima. Save it. It's a good Optima. I don't want to change anything. Again, not every font is automatically going to show up. Let's try another one. I want a good font that's actually going to work. What, do I have to put in quotation marks? That might do it. Let me try that. Nope, I just don't think it's in there. I'm trying to remember. Font family. Let's try Arial Narrow. There you go. Let's try Arial Narrow. That's fine. You'll see that also it changed the size of our table as well because it's a narrower font, so it takes up less space. All right, that's good. Let's do our THs. Let's give them a bigger. Let's do font. Let's do color. Let's make it I don't know, white. See how that looks. Yeah. Ingredients. It's all right. I don't know if I like that white color. Let's definitely make the font size. Make that bigger. You guys are also getting a Spanish lesson at the same time. 24 pixels. Okay, there we go. That's good. Right, I want to align text bottom of TD. Let's figure out how to do that. Vertical align bottom. Let's see. I want to place text in the center line. How can I do this? This is what I want. TD, vertical line, bottom, text align center. Oh, there we go. I want just this one over here. I don't want all the TDs. So I'm going to give this one with the recipe one. Oh, the skillet. I already have the ID all set up. All right. What was it? Let's take a look at what they did again. They did vertical align bottom and text align center if we want it centered. vertical dash align bottom text align center. And let's do color, I don't know, red. That doesn't seem like this. It's fine, at least you can see it now. What is bold? I forget. Let's see. Make text bold CSS. Oh, the font weight. Alright, I should remember that. Font weight bold. I want that bold font over there. Remember in the THs the font weight is automatically bold. You can change that if you like for no reason. Font weight. I made up a new word. Font weight bold. Yeah, picture of the bachelor's scale. There's a way to give it like an outline too. Let me see. CSS text outline. Adding stroke.
That's it, Now, I asked you to use another one. What is the another one that you can use it? For example, if you wanted someone.
I don't want to add stroke to it.
Alright? But this one is confused because it's one person and it's a male. You can say it. But you
Oh, maybe.
another person you can say mistake. Alright? Okay. Good. Sabu. Sabu, look at this one. It's a group of girls, and she is included. So the one talking, she is
WebKit text stroke. We'll try that. Let me see.
in English. Which one will you say?
Let's give it a shot, see if that works.
Sabu? Nada?
Think that'll work? Alright. Let's make that a 1 pixel.
Deborah, go ahead. Give me that to Deborah.
Make this back to white. And give it a font dash size of, I don't know, 12 pixels.
Deborah, so, Josiah. What she said, Deborah? 80. No, Deborah.
24.
She is included. It's like the
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Look, I like that. Nice. Let's give it a little bit of padding, 15 pixels. See what that does. There we go. That pushes up the text from the bottom like a little bit. Again, it's not going to change like where the picture is, because the picture, remember, is the background image. It's not like actually in the cell. So there's a difference between putting an image in the cell in the table data tags, or like giving the whole cell a background image. And what time is it? All right, I got 20 minutes. I got plenty of time. All right, so this looks pretty good. Let's take a look at what we have here. And I did more than you have to do, but so it depends on what you're shooting for. We've got in our HTML over here, we have our H1 tag, then we have our table. So this is the whole thing here is our table. Then we have our first table row, which is this thing right over here. This is just a TH with a call span of 2. See that span? It goes over both columns. This is column 1, column 2. It goes over both columns. And it's a TH tag. Then our next row, this one right here, starting on, it's going to have 2 columns, so there's going to be 2 rows inside, or 2 sets of TD tags in there. So the first set over here are the ingredients. And inside that first, inside that first should hope fix itself here in a second. Yeah, I don't know why. Let's save this. Let's refresh it because it's looking a little weird. There we go. All right, I fixed my mask. So in the first row, it starts TD over here. It's the first column, I should say. First TD, closing TD, and inside of that we have our unordered list, with bullet points for our ingredients. One thing we might do is we could put in like an H2 or something. Put in ingredients, but we already have it up here, so it's kind of like we don't need to do that.
Alright, so let's do that one first. If I had Jesse alone,
Could change this font. I mean, this font size is a little small. We could change that to something else, right? Our second one, right, we have a TD we have some text inside of it. Where it says picture of the bachelor skillet, but then we gave it an ID of skillet, and which has a background image, which is the most important thing, right? Where we give it a background image because you have your where you put it. You could put it like over here. You could put it down here, wherever you put your picture. I'm not too worried. As long as one of your cells has a background image, is fine. Right, so it has to have a background image. Right. As far as the other things go, these are optional. All right. I did it because that's the way I wanted mine to look. You might want yours to look differently, depending. But it should be like an aesthetically pleasing site. So if it looks weird, all right, or if it looks amateurish, then we're looking at the 3 or the 2 on the rubric. Right, so. Not that this looks like super professional or anything like that, but it looks like everything is nice and clean, I guess you could say. This is not in no way an advanced website, but at least everything looks like the way it should. You don't see like a bunch of copies that don't quite fill up the space and all that kind of stuff of the background images and that kind of stuff. I made my background size cover so it covers up the whole section over here. Background repeat doesn't repeat. So if, for example, this picture was smaller than this section over here, then it would just kind of like spread out to cover up the whole thing. Or if it was too big, it won't like overlap or anything like that. Then for my text, I made the vertical line bottom at the bottom. Right? The text line, I centered it. I made the color white. I gave it a font weight of bold, so I made my text bold. I gave it a stroke of black, so it has like a line outside, 1 pixel wide stroke outside. I made the font size a little bit bigger. I gave it some padding to kind of bump it up from the bottom. My table and my THs and my TDs, I gave them all a border. I gave it a heavier border, 3 pixels, solid black. The background color for my whole thing, I made kind of this beige color. Well, actually, it's beige, not beige color. Then for my THs, I gave them a background color, this orange color. I gave them a little bit of padding over here. And I changed their font size to a bigger font. For the table, I centered my table, so I did that with margin left auto and margin right auto. For my body, I made the fonts, I made everything. If it's inside the body, by default, it will have the font family of Arial and Arial. But any of the tags, everything here is inside the body, right? So they're all going to inherit the whatever attributes the body has, unless like I tell it otherwise. So if, for example, if I wanted this TD cell over here to have a different font, I could just give it an ID or whatever like that and give it a different font family, in which case it would not have the font family of Arial and Arial. Then my H1, I centered that one as well. So I save it. I go to share, I copy the link, I go to the assignment, and I turn that in. Let's go to I might have to sign back in. So let's go to the right class, check 1. Let's view it as a student. Alright, let's go to the recipe website. I paste the URL right here, and I click submit, and I'm all done. You might want to double check it. Click on the link, make sure it actually looks good. Right, there we go. Pretty cool. Back to content, and then you're all set. So I hope this helps you guys out, and hope you don't hear him misbehave too badly. So it's a little loud, but that's okay. I will see you guys Thursday, or whatever day you're watching. The next day after you're watching this video, hopefully. See you guys then.